sharing that, and thanks for welcoming me into your space again to participate in your day in the life of Mr. Larry.
So I attended their conference, and they were saying that affordable housing is a big crisis in Maryland, which I'm sure a lot of you all know. So when I heard that one of her clients, she was going to be homeless, we kind of jumped in to give her try to find temporary housing. So we were able to find that, and then we're also able to find her some affordable housing in Baltimore.
Still a hectic week for me too, but
how it looks.
In the Bible study, they talked about, can you make time for God? Oh, right?
What are you making time for?
Exactly. You all seen last week's vlog. If you don't know me, my name is Frank Latte, CEO of Latte Wellness Group. So right now we're actually running a mental health clinic, and we're also trying to start our real estate. So thank you for tuning in. We're going to be taking things up to the next level. And right now for today, what we're doing is we are in Mondays at 10. It's usually the management meeting. All the heads of the various things we meet, talk about tasks completed last week, any issues and tasks this week, and anything that need help with, just to try to increase the communication, right, with everyone. So now you can come around here. All right, so Brianna. So I guess Brianna. Okay, thank you. Let's do this. Also this week on Thursday and Friday, going into the weekend, I may have a conference in DC, psychotherapy conference to go to, right? So I'm gonna be out of pocket. But yeah, I was saying on our PRP, I think she had a lot of good points. Any thoughts on her email, Brianna?
No, I agree with everything that was in there. I kind of discussed this with her a couple months back, and definitely want to implement all of those things she had suggested. It does seem like there is a lot of confusion amongst, not only the client, but
email came through basically saying that, hey, can we improve the communication with the PRP program? There's so many various steps. People don't really know what's going on, how to do it. There's a lot of confusion. They don't know about the program. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So today is pretty much, Mondays are pretty much meetings. So I got meetings today. Got meetings at 10:30, 11. Got a whole bunch of admin emails to do. We have clinician. We have 2 interviews today. I got to talk to another clinician. So it's actually going to be a good day for a day in the life of. So it's going to be good. All right, we'll talk later. All right, so right now we're just going to make some coffee. Yes, sir. Starbucks. And it's my first time using this one. And it's a little Keurig. All right, so now we're going to join our 10 a.m. meeting. The 10 a.m. meeting is with the staff, just to updates on things, see how things are going. Good morning, everyone. I got a videographer. See, Randy's here. We're taking it up to the next level. Great. Okay. Hi. Hi, Chelsea.
Hi, I was trying to click a reaction button like yay or nice, but I clicked the wrong button, sorry.
Yeah. Good morning, Lori.
Whoops, good morning.
And just trying to, increase our social media presence, trying to really, this year is really about social and marketing and trying to get clients through like organic media. We're trying, right? It's hard because it's very, very hard to like, you got to be consistent, you got to be et cetera, right? So, what's it called? This week as well, it's wanted to let y'all know about 2 great conferences that are coming up. One is the psychotherapy, what the heck is it called? It's in DC, they have it every year.
Networker.
Right. Symposium, networker, that I completely forgot about it. And so, good opportunities to get CEU credits there. And no, we would not be, in the past, we were able to sponsor some, but maybe not this year. This year, maybe in the future. Also next week as well, I'm thinking about going to the American Counseling Association conference. It's in Orlando. Again, no, we're not being sponsoring any individuals this year due to certain reasons, right? So.
Oh, Frank, I'm not going this year, but Nisha asked if there was somebody who's also a member of IAC who could help with their booth. So if you're going to go, you might want to stop by the International Association of Counseling booth.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe let them know if you're going to go.
Gotcha. So this year, the reason I did see that email, I'm actually trying to get CEUs.
Okay.
What happened last time was the last time that we went, I was so enthralled. Like when you're at the booth, you really can't get CEUs, and that's the only reason why I'm going. To get the concentrated CEUs in a setting, so I don't have to worry about.
Well, there's 2 different counseling. Licensed Clinical Professional Counselors of Maryland. They have their spring conference coming up, and there's 2, and they always have a real big crowd for a 1-day conference. I just got their brochure in the mail, but you can find it for getting CEUs that are not social work CEU identifiers. 30 have to be identified as offering CEUs that a counselor can use.
Gotcha.
But
we just dropped the ball on is getting our certification to do CEUs.
To go with NBCC?
Yeah, so let's put that as a goal. And one of them is these things that keep dropping off. And I realized that the problem is I need to get somebody to actually do it. If I do it, it's not going to get done. I'm not doing it.
I thought Gary Ann sent it in, but they are so busy that I know you have to follow up with them. I'm not even sure if she did.
Yeah.
But for anybody who is, because you can use it, that I attended a training on how to write treatment plans, offered by my employer.
I'm noticing on Therapy Notes that there's this new, what is it called? Fuel injection or something like that. I don't know if anybody's seen it. It's a little button at the top, and then it gives a summary and some other clinical.
We want to just say, okay, hey, look, how can we add value to our clients? Right? What is it that we can do to add value? One of the things was housing, right? So we noticed that a lot of y'all might know or might not know, but we also have a real estate component that I've been trying to kick off the ground. And so 2 weeks ago, I attended another conference. It was like, it's the local Howard County Association of Realtors, right? So I attended their conference, and they were saying that affordable housing is a big crisis in Maryland, which I'm sure a lot of you all know. So when I've heard that one of her clients, she was going to be homeless, we kind of jumped in to give her try to find temporary housing. So we were able to find that, and then we're also able to find her some affordable housing in Baltimore. I'm not saying, don't know how it looks or things of that nature, but that was one area where especially with the PRP, the mentorship, the Adult Mental Health Ally program, we were really trying to add value to the clients' lives. So if there's anything of that sort that you all see, any clients that are really struggling with this, also, we help them. Sometimes we help them find primary cares. And with that Mental Health Ally program, the best part about it is the ally can take them to the appointment, so they had to get some medication. We took them to the primary care doctor, took them grocery shopping. We were able to really add that value beyond just the therapy piece of it, right? So,
Just curious, is the real estate component going to be just sort of independent housing, or have you thought about providing any kind of day mental health services or intensive mental health services within the housing structure itself?
gotcha. Good question. I think right now there's a moratorium for Maryland Medicaid on intensive outpatients. You could do private, right? But the really reason, my initial thought was to get into some type of residential something. But now they have a moratorium on intensive outpatients. I don't know if they have any moratorium on day programs or things of that nature, but it's definitely something we can look into. And so, why were you?
So I will be starting at the University of Kentucky my DSW program this summer.
For those that don't know, what is DSW?
Yes, doctorate in social work.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, she's gonna be Dr. Dickerson, right? Measuring.
In 2 years.
So yeah, all the best of that. Okay. All right. What part of Florida? What town do you live in Florida?
I live in Ocala, so I'll be an hour and a half from Orlando.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So in the end.
Any other thoughts for Jules in regards to last week's case? Could you remind us? All right. So right now we just finished our morning meeting. It says 2 hours, 2-hour marathon for a meeting, and then it's usually lunch at 12. Right now I'll probably check some emails, just do some work, and then we do have a 1:30, right? 1:30 interview with a new intern. So let's see how that goes. All right. So we'll. Yes, right now I'm just going to be checking some emails, doing some follow-ups, etc., etc. I gotta get on the vlog. All right. So, all right, guys. So we're back here. Randy had an eventful. He had an eventful journey. Getting the camera or getting some mics. We're back here talking to Tajiree, one of our therapists. She used to live in Virginia, now she lives in Maryland. She's our full-time therapist, and last week she sent me a meeting invite, right? It's kind of like when you get that meeting invite from Doge, or you get that meeting invite from your manager. You're like, I know what this is, right? So people only want to meet with me when they have problems, right? Either they're leaving, they got a problem with somebody, or they're upset. Nobody ever sends a meeting invite just to say, hey, how you doing? So she allowed you all to listen in. Yes, ma'am. Tajiree, what's going on?
So, as you know, I'm going back to school this summer.
Congratulations.
For social work.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I was just thinking about as far as schoolwork and school times. So it is an online program, but sometimes they have classes to where it's all classes meet or everyone meets like in the evenings once a week or twice a week. So like I was just thinking about that as far as scheduling goes. So far I looked at some of like the syllabuses, and it might be able to work. But I was wondering, I know evenings, full time for evenings like 3 to 8. But what if I did Monday, Wednesday, 9 to 7, Tuesday, Thursday, 8 to 4, Fridays for the 4 hours, and then once a month on a Saturday, I can do the PRP clients. Because I know the ones that have to be once a month is kind of tricky to get them on your schedule if you're full time for just once a month.
She says she knows I like making propositions. I like making deals. Oh man, I like it. 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 I would say let's try it and see how it works.
Okay.
Basically, what I need, if you can, is sell it to your clients.
Okay.
Because the beauty of it is you already have a caseload, right? So, and they already love you, right? So here's how I would sell it though. Hey y'all, unfortunately I gotta leave and this and this and this. Oh my gosh, oh no, don't leave us. But, well, you know, I'm going to school for get my doctoral and everything, so my schedule's gonna change. So if you wanna stay, hey, either you can stay with me, but we gotta switch your time to X, and then I can do Y if you wanna stay, or we can just find you another therapist.
Okay.
That's how I would do it, so that you're kind of like, hey, they really want to stay with you, let's make it work.
Right. Okay.
Right? And so that's kind of like what I was thinking.
Okay. That works.
So when would this start?
So I start school at the beginning of June.
Okay, so we've got like what, a couple 3 months or so. Keep going. It's up to
Yeah, I
you.
just wanted to, do the thinking process early.
Right? If school is just killing you, then just do hey, say part-time, and then give us those 30, and then we'll I think you can keep your same health care. We still pay for it.
Okay.
You're just paid hourly.
Right, so that'd be the difference, is the hourly pay.
Right. It's
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
I can try the full time, for now.
Yeah.
And then if it gets to be where I feel like I'm drowning, then I can switch to the part time.
Okay.
I think it's manageable.
Yeah, talk to him. Yeah, I would say, definitely talk to him and see. And so what made you want to do the program?
I feel like my end goal, I would have to try to figure it out.
Yeah, I understand. Like I said, and there's always, again, hey, try it. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, there's always a part-time option. We have plenty of things. So yeah, it's I appreciate you. We love having you here as well. And so whatever we can do, we'll look at it. And the thing that you will have going for you is what's it called? The especially in the summertime, kids are out of school. But then if it's virtual, I don't know, their parents might have to help them sign. I don't know,
That's true. And a lot of my kids are basically teens, so they kind of navigate it on their own.
Oh, okay. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. So I'm sure we'll make it work.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Anything else?
No,
All right. So we just met with one of our therapists. Essentially, what's happening is she's trying to better herself, which, congratulations to her. She's getting her doctorate degree so that she can eventually, become a teacher, a professor. And she works full time, so now we're trying to work out the scheduling to see, hey, whether she's still going to be able to do full time or have to do part time. We'll see. So she was able to, she says, I got a proposal for you. Everyone knows I love these little, how to make things work. And yeah, so we're gonna try, definitely gonna try to, make things work for her in regards to, X, Y, and Z to see if we can keep her. So that's gonna be exciting. All right, we'll check in later. So now we are doing an interview with a potential therapist. All right, so, all right, let me just pull up your resume here shortly. While I do that, a little bit about us. We are the Latte Wellness Group. We are a mental health outpatient clinic, headquarters in Laurel, Maryland, but we have offices and staff throughout Maryland, Virginia, DC, Texas, Florida, Hawaii, Hong Kong, Venezuela, Canada, Scotland, Ghana, Nigeria, and the Philippines. I believe you are applying for our therapist position in Maryland, the hybrid, LMSW, and your license is in Maryland?
Maryland, yes.
Okay, do you have a DC license?
No, I don't.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And you're looking for part-time?
Part-time, yes.
Gotcha. What are your hours of availability?
So right now I work full-time, and we did have telework options.
Be a role play.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to be the therapist and I'm going to be your client. My name is Frank, and we're going to make a lot of assumptions here because I want to, assess your counseling abilities. Let's say I'm coming in for anxiety and depression, right? Let's call it the second session, right? Coming in for anxiety and depression, the second session, and you're my therapist. And we're going to make a lot of assumptions here because, I got like 10, 15 minutes to really assess your counseling skills, and so I don't have that much. But I definitely do want to kind of, give me something, right?
Yeah.
And again, my name is Frank, and I'm a 35-year-old African-American male.
Okay. Hi Frank, how are you today?
I'm good, Brittany. How are you doing?
I'm good. So I know this is our second session, so the last session we went through some of the things that you've been experiencing. I know we talked about your anxiety and your depression. How are you feeling today in regards to both the anxiety and depression? Just give me just a check-in. How's everything going with that?
It's good. The anxiety and depression, I guess it's getting better, up days and down days. Right now I'm just don't feel like doing much.
Okay, so you said you're doing okay.
Yeah.
And you said there are up days and down days. Would you say today is more of an up day or a down day? Down, okay. So tell me a little bit about what led to that feeling today. Did something specific happen or was it just?
Yeah, I'm just not thrilled with my job. But right now in this economy, right now, especially I'm in IT, but right now it's like an oversaturation of like IT professionals, so I really can't move, and I'm a government contractor, and in the current environment, things aren't looking good, so I need to keep my head down, but I'm just not really that happy.
Okay, I understand, and that's understandable. There is a lot going on just in our world, but also just our country with everything that's going on, so I completely understand. So is there anything, so as far as your job, I know we didn't really talk much about your job last session. Can you tell me a little bit about what's been going on at work? I know you said you feel a little stuck. Are you unhappy at work? Have you been looking for new positions? What exactly is making you unhappy with work?
Yeah, I think I'm just like unfulfilled with the work.
Okay.
And so like I really like coaching basketball.
Oh.
But that doesn't pay the bills, not in this area, unless you're really, so I have a love of sports, and and that's right now I'm just, I live for the weekend, as they say.
Okay, got it. Okay, so maybe you're unfulfilled because you're not being able to pursue your passion at this point, because unfortunately passion doesn't pay the bills. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely.
Okay. So has there been anything that you've done to change the situation, either at work or with your passion with coaching? You said basketball, correct?
Yeah. I mean, what can I do? I mean, I'm stuck at where I'm at. Like I said, like in this day and age, you can't complain much. You got to be grateful you have a job. I'm in no man's land, right? And so.
Well, I can I challenge you on that?
Absolutely.
Right? So you said that you can't complain. So your feelings are your feelings, right? So even if things are a little shaky with the job market right now, the reality is that you're still unhappy and you're feeling unfulfilled. So there can be steps that you can take to potentially maybe find something that may be more fulfilling. So I just want to challenge you to think about not feeling stuck in this moment, because you may not be stuck, right? You may feel like you're stuck, but you may not be if we explore some different options.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I guess, can we explore some options? Are you okay with that?
Sure. Let's explore one option.
Okay, so it sounds like, let's see, so one will be difficult. So I'm going to put this on, not put this on you. I'm going to get your input. So it sounds like you're unfulfilled at work, but you also maybe are looking to increase your opportunities to be able to coach basketball, because that's where you're happy at this moment. Mm-hmm. So would you think that it would be more helpful to maybe focus on trying to find another job, or focusing on trying to increase your opportunities to coach basketball? Because I have a couple of thoughts, but I want to make sure I'm including you.
Right now, this area is very expensive. Basketball, these are part-time gigs, right? I'm not a full-fledged coach. I guess this pays the bills. IT pays. I got kids. Kids aren't cheap. You know how it goes, or at least their expenses aren't. So, I'm kind of just, does everybody love their job? I'm sure I'm not the only one that hates their job.
Well, you're not. I can assure you. I know I can say 100% confidence you are not. But there are ways that we can find. So in my experience, when I talk with individuals who are not happy at their jobs, sometimes it's just.
All right, guys. So we just wrapped up the interview with the potential candidate. Now we're going to do a post-interview briefing. Thoughts on the candidate?
I thought she was really good. I really liked the mock that she did. It's one of the better ones that I've ever really heard, I think. She just seemed comfortable and just knowledgeable and advice to offer.
She asked the pertinent questions, and I think she did very well overall.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think she did well. Originally, I was like, I don't even know. I was surprised that she even accepted the interview, right? Because her resume is very nice. She does a lot of leadership training. So I'm sitting here figuring out, is this going to be a waste of time, right? Is it going to be why even come here? So I wasn't really quite sure. I didn't really, to be honest with you, I was like, oh, okay. I'm thinking okay, overqualified, why do this, right? So, but she seems, for the most part, seems to be good, for the most part, seems to be willing to really, hey, let's give her a shot, right? So, her supervisor then would be, on this one, Carrie, if you want to do that one that doesn't have anymore.
Yes, that's Kay, and her rates are good, so I think we are good.
Yeah, you can have her hey, we found you someone. They started in April. Yes. Keep her happy.
Correct. Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
I'm laughing here off camera. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. I think this is our last meeting of the evening.
Absolutely.
Of the day.
All right. Thank you all. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. All right. Work. It doesn't work for Nurse Prax right now.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna ask you, so just let them know it doesn't. It's not. That's what therapy notes say. For the most part, we'll see. You can see how it goes.
Okay.
I didn't put Dr.
So
T.
that's $40 increase for each person. I wonder if since we don't pay for interns, if we'll have to pay for interns now for that feature. We'll see.
That was because when you go to the thing, you select who. I didn't even see any interns on there.
Oh,
I don't even
Okay, so
know.
maybe that's why. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I didn't even see that option for interns.
Got you.
Yeah, I mean it's terrible, but
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. All right, just checking.
that's why, right? Because you don't, or it's half for interns, right?
Do we pay for them? And sometimes I don't see anything pop up when I add them, so I'm not even sure. But quite possibly, it's half. I know there's nothing for admin, absolutely.
The only thing that I forgot was whoever uses it, there's a consent for use of artificial intelligence. So every client there
Yeah.
has to consent for use of
We
artificial.
were checking something.
Yeah, so now there's a consent form, everyone has to use it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're gonna update our thing for the intakes and stuff. All right.
Right.
I'll talk with the team tomorrow about that.
I would say,
So
can we add the consent? Just look at that consent. Why don't we just add it to the welcome, the consent from therapy?
Okay.
Not a separate document, but add it there. So I don't know. Is it Lee that updates those? Yeah. So it's gotta be a let's update our consents, right?
Okay.
So that it's already included in there.
All right. Sounds good.
But then here's the issue. Now everybody has to re-sign consents.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the yeah. So it's either that or let's talk about it. Let's talk about it Wednesday. Let me put something in there.
Okay. Yeah, it may be a little easier to share that document with current clients, and then for all the new ones coming in, we give them a new
Yeah.
sheet.
Yeah. That can work too. I mean, whatever works. Whatever works. Whatever works. Whatever works.
All right, cool.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. We're done. Now it's just, admin, wrap-ups, emails, bunch of stuff. So I think it was good, good interview. Y'all didn't get the intern, but yeah, that the new intern, we had somebody interview, so she interviewed really good. This one as well, we'll extend the offer letter. Hopefully we can give you all an update on it. Now it's time for, kind of like a late lunch, I guess early dinner type of thing. Go eat some good grub, then go home to the kids. Then we'll be right back at it tomorrow. All right, thanks.
They wanted to shoot me out about the notes for tomorrow. I saw the calendar thing. I've been moving, and I was telling Carrie Ann that I would get those notes done. And the other thing was, I don't know what's going on with therapy notes. I meant to tell her about that today, but for some reason, I cannot just go into it. So I've been doing therapy haphazardly. Like I use Google Meets. I've been using everything, but outside of that thing. So I don't know what's going on with therapy notes. I don't see an update or anything.
So you're not able to log into therapy notes?
I could log in, but when I go on to talk to people, they can't hear me, and then it takes forever. Even the clients are having a problem. Like we'll see each other, but we can't get to each other, and that happened all last week. So what I've been doing is sending them Google Meet links, or I will call them on my phone.
Do me a favor here. Can you call Therapy Notes support when it happens?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that in the morning because I noticed like the camera is red And then like sometimes they can't hear me, but I can hear them, or it's vice versa. So I'm like, what is going on with this?
Okay. Okay.
The notes I started working on, they'll all be done. I'm very sorry I was moving. It was a horrible move.
Oh my gosh, I'm terribly sorry.
It was horrible.
Oh my
I got it
gosh.
done.
Is it a good story for the vlog? About your terrible move? About your terrible move? Yeah. What made it so horrible?
Well, you know, I'm by myself in Maryland, so I have to move my own stuff. So just finding movers, getting out of the apartment. When I said I was going to get out of the apartment, I didn't, and so I had to ask them for another week. And then I also resigned from my daytime job, so it was a lot going on.
Oh.
So, because I told them I want to do more, focus on more therapy versus the hospice stuff.
Yeah.
Just hospice became very tedious.
Cheryl, you know, this is gonna be on our vlog. Just letting you know.
Huh?
This is gonna be on our vlog. I have a video. I have a guy that's recording me in the day in the life of.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Okay. I just let you know. Just
let everybody know, including the blog, the notes will be done. They actually were done. They just aren't transferred over into therapy notes yet.
Got you. And so what we can do is also the treatment plans, right?
Yeah. That one too, because I have met the new people, but I told Carrie Ann, so it will take the second meeting for me to tell them to sign it, because when I'm doing the actual eval and doing a treatment plan, I tell them, okay, once I type up your treatment plan, I'm going to send it over to you to sign it. So my second meeting, I anticipated having them to sign it, but I haven't made it to the second meeting with them because they canceled.
Gotcha.
So that was another issue. But we're going to get it together. But I was asking for, like, for me, like a checklist, because when I go and do all those notes and it says you're all done, I'm thinking I'm all done. Like there's nothing pending. So she said that the thing that Mike does is like a checklist. So I'm thinking for the therapist, we need like actually something I can check off. Like, so it can become part of my routine. Like, did I do the, she said those therapy, the progress therapy notes.
Gotcha.
What are those things called?
I'm gonna.
I can get someone to make a checklist so I can just put it in my planner. Like when I'm doing my weekly work, and I'm like, I'll go through and audit my own cases versus him having to audit and me waiting on eval.
All right, you schedule that tomorrow at 10. We do have like a checklist per se. It is on the training guide. Do you know the training guide?
No, I don't. Where is that located?
All right, so if you go to lattewellness.com, you go all the way down to resources, and then you go to internal staff site. All right, so I was using the restroom. I ran into my neighbor, my office neighbor. Introduce yourself.
My name is Mikkel Weathers.
She does.
I am I don't know. I have many hats. I'm a wife, I'm a woman of God, I'm a mother, I am a mini masterpiece creator, and I serve in the self-care space.
Yeah. And so last time we met, I don't know if she made it to the vlog, but she introduced me to this book, Three Kings. It's about King David, King Saul, King David, and King David's son, Absalom, right? And how basically it's the gist of the book essentially is your leadership style that of like Saul, King David, or Absalom, right? And then help me out here. So like with Saul, how he treated his successor David, right? Eventually that jealousy, that anger, and that rage, like he was trying to kill him with a spear, and he was a hair above the rest, and just basically how he went about it right? The way that he moved. Whereas David, he was the youngest of the sons. I think it was Samuel. He was anointed by Samuel. But the thing about David was, although he was king, when Samuel anointed him king, it wasn't until 10 years later.
It might have even been more than 10 years.
Yeah, at least 10.
At
least 10 till he went on the throne. I was just thinking about that today, and basically in how like God might give you something, but God's timing. Right? We're expecting microwave timing where, hey, you give it to me now. This thing's supposed to hey, give it to me now, give it to me now. And also how when David had an opportunity to kill Saul, he's like, no, I'm not going to hurt God's anointed. Where if Saul, vice versa, if Saul had the opportunity to kill David, he would have killed him on the spot. Right? And so basically here, it's kind of like on David, he looked at things through God's lens and he allowed God to use him in the process. And even at the end, when his son was trying to take over the throne and trying to kill him and overthrow him, he didn't stop him. Right? And the book, essentially, he was making the author was making the arguments, a couple of things, basically because David knew what it was like when you had a king that didn't allow the secession, right? Was trying to kill the person who was trying to succeed you, and he knew because he was under Saul, right? He served Saul. He was basically working for Saul for such a long time, and so when his son came over, he was saying, look, if it was meant to be, if this is what God wants, if this is God's will, I'm gonna let this thing happen according to God's will. Anything you want to add on the Three Kings?
I was just thinking about the leadership styles. You know how like in your space, in the mental health space, you talk about attachment styles and different things like that. So there is a way you lead, right? So, I'm a compassionate person. I lead with empathy. I lead with, you have strengths and different things like that. But I think we do have to submit ourselves to the character of God. And David was a perfect illustration of that. In that he waited. So you led with the timing of God. The timing of God is providential, right? Because you think about, you set something in the oven and you put it in the oven on 375, right? What you get out at the end of it, if you don't eat it right away, it's still going to be tasty after the fact. When you put something in the microwave, which you spoke to, the timing, how we want something instant. When you put something in the microwave, you heat it up, it's only good for a certain time. It then becomes rubbery. It becomes inedible. Like if you try to nuke some French fries in the microwave, it's going to be different than if you put them in the oven. Now you might have to wait a little longer, but the outcome is a little different. So I feel like the timing of God is so pivotal. Like just like me meeting you, divine appointments, divine assignments, right? And his time lines up with purpose. And I believe that David knew that there is succession, right? And so he's like, I'm not going to hinder what God may be doing, even in this adversity, or even in this persecution, even in this stressful thing between me and my son. I'm going to allow God to be sovereign. So the whole thing about character, because David had to experience some things. Even Joseph. When we go to Joseph, this isn't a part of the book, but when you go to Joseph, he was from the mistreatment of his brothers, dysfunctional family, to hearing God clearly and knowing his purpose and his call. But the time in between, he realized his purpose and his call. So what he had to experience to prepare to lead was totally different, And so I just think that we have to keep in mind, can we lead at a certain time? We probably can. We probably have all of the books. We go to college, we go to a certification, right. But is it time now, or is there still something that we need to glean in order to lead effectively? Because your gifts and your talents can take you to places, but it's really the character that sustains you. So that was what I got from that book. Is like, it's one thing to lead, but it's one thing to lead well. And I think that's what that book showed us, like servant leadership. He definitely was a servant leader.
Yeah. Christ also was a servant leader, right?
Yeah.
And so, it's my sister in Christ here.
You know, like she told me to read the book, and I went home that night. I read home that night, Audible, and I was, because you know a lot of people tell you stuff, right? And I was like, okay, you know, they tell you stuff, and so.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah, man.
Well, we talked about the timing of God. We talked about divine encounters. We talked about. So why do you believe that was providential for you to, like, the time is now? Because faith is action, right? So was it that I spoke to a place in faith where you were like, oh yeah, that's some good stuff. Let me see, because that's something I need now. That made you say, let me download it and take the information in now instead of floating it like a balloon. I'm just curious.
So the question is, all right, what made me not procrastinate, right?
Nice.
A couple of things. I'm a big procrastinator, and that's what God's working on with me on this one, right? So like, I wanted to, because that's me, right? There's things in my business right now that I'm just procrastinating on. So it's something that I'm working on, right? And God's working with me on it. So I'm trying to do better. And then also, the way that she spoke about the book, it was just something, you know. Again, you know, she was telling me about definitely talk. You know, I definitely saw that she was like a woman of God, right? A servant of God here. And oftentimes in our prayers, sometimes you're praying about something and you don't realize that God is answering your prayer because you want it a certain way. But can he speak to you through others? And in that situation, in the Bible study, because I've been doing this very powerful Wednesday Bible studies, they really talked about waiting on God and really slowing down and looking at the various ways that God is talking to you through the things that you might not even think of. And so I took that as, it because I actually love studying the characters of the Bible, especially leadership, right? And when she was telling me about David and Saul, basically, you know, like the what can you glean, so it was very, very intriguing. And then I said, and that was a really hectic week for me, real hectic week for me too. But in the Bible study, they talked about, can you make time for God?
Oh.
Right?
What are you making time for?
Exactly. And so and so then on that one, I said, okay, hey, let me,
That was your challenge, your charge. You was like, I have just the thing that I'm going to make time, yeah.
So very.
Well, thanks for sharing that, and thanks for welcoming me into your space again to participate in your day in the life of Mr. Lardy.
Yeah.
And I just, when I come into an area, I want to bless it. So I just pray that God continues to blow your mind, that he helps you perceive things that you have not perceived before, that he increases your territory, enlarges your borders, and that you will never be the same from this year to the next year, that you will see exponential growth, that your staff team, they will grow just because they've connected and aligned with you, and that you will be able to see who is for you and who is not for you. And that the path that was not straight, where you felt like it may have been some detours in the road, where you didn't know to go right or to go left, that God is going to direct you in the path. He said that he's a lamp unto your feet, a light unto your path. So when you take one step in his direction, he's going to bless the road ahead. So I just declare that and decree that over your life, and I'm going to be in great expectation to hear the next testimony and to see what the next encounter produces. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.